Yeah, it looks like we're live. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a very random but hopefully nice Sunday live stream. I'll be your host, Big No No. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. So if you're watching this back at this point, it's because you weren't here to catch it, and I wouldn't have expected people to be here to catch it because I post these so rarely and so randomly. But we have some people in, so if you're watching this and you're like nervous to leave a question or to hit me up on here or bring up a topic of discussion or just say, hey, don't be. You definitely should. It's not that serious. All right, Captain Recluse says, hello, what up? Nicholas Rubio says, hello, what's up, Nick? Teresa says, hi. Hey. Escapist Foundation Beats, looking good, man. Thank you, appreciate that. Miranda says, do you have kids? Do you have kids being on TRT for a long time? No, so I don't have any kids right now. I couldn't have any kids just now. If I wanted to, I would have to change my protocol up. For those of you that don't know, I'm on replacement therapy for TRT. Lisa says hi. Hi, Lisa. King Tito says hi. What up, King? What up, King? Ethan says sending good vibes. I appreciate that, Ethan. Thank you. Right back at you. We are waking up. Sup, bro? What's good? Noam Garfinkel. Hey there. What's up, dude? Luna says, hi, I really love you. I got love for you too, thank you. Vanessa says, hey, what's up, Vanessa? Donald Burpo, what's up? What up, Donald? Miranda, it's cool, thanks, cool. Josh says, God bless you, big bro. You too, man. Do you believe in adrenal fatigue due to prolonged anxiety and stress? I suppose. I think prolonged anxiety and stress would show up in a lot of different ways for a lot of different people, and I don't know particularly too much about adrenal fatigue, but I know that stress causes inflammation, and inflammation causes things to go awry, so it wouldn't surprise me. Does anyone else getting the feeling that summer was just here and then just instantly gone? Because it is straight up, like here, I live in Portland, Oregon, well, technically Beaverton, Oregon, but like we went from weather in the high 70s, low 80s like a week ago to, oh, can you see that? Like this is what we're working with now. It's like cold and wet, which I kind of like actually. But I digress. Let's see. Where were we? Sarah Lennon says, hi, God bless you, great to see you. Thank you, and God bless you too. It's good to see you on here, that's for sure. Jonathan McFeely, hey Noah, what's up? Been following you for a while now. Started CrossFit in June after being tired of feeling hopeless, and I'm down 16 pounds. Your channel and message really kept me going. That's awesome. Congrats on finding CrossFit and you know finding something that works for you and that you enjoy. And on the weight loss too, it's a big deal. I think I probably gained like 10 pounds last week. I have been binge eating like nobody's business. I'm on a tear right now. A tear. Robert says, hey Noah, love your videos. Thanks, Robert. Chupamicabra says, yes, finally made it to a live stream. What's up, Noah? I've been following you for a while. Be blessed, but I appreciate that. Yeah, these are so random. It's hard to know when I'm going to do them. This one was very spontaneous too, but I'm glad you're here. Nsage UK says, hi, Noah. Big inspiration for physical fitness. Got a few years to catch up to you, though. Been going strong for 15 months. Good job, and thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, just be consistent. Thomas Magnum says, Lamictal is dumb. Yeah, I feel like I was on... Is Lamictal a mood stabilizer? I feel like it is. Or an antipsychotic, perhaps? I was on Lamictal myself for a while. One Hot Mess Tanya, that's funny. He says, hey, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay today, and I hope you're doing well also. Sin L says, DPDR sucks. Yeah, depersonalization, derealization absolutely does suck, and it's scary. If you're going through it right now, hang in there. Robert says, went by too fast. Yeah, no kidding. Luna says, recommendation, you and Dr. Paul should go and see the Harp twins the next time they are in Oregon. I love them. Okay. King Tito says, keep grinding. Been watching you for a while. The way you document it, and yeah, the fall really coming. Eric Marquez, yeah, it is coming hard. Eric Marquez says, hi, what up, Eric? Captain Recluse says, the Texas heat has made the summer insufferable. Felt a little longer over here. Gotcha. I've actually never been to Texas, but I'm going to Texas for the first time really soon, which should be fun. Where are we? Sarah Lennon says, hope you're doing well. Love your videos. Thank you, Sarah. Taylor Crick says, hi, Noah. What's up, Taylor? We are waking up. So what's on the menu for this live chat? I don't know. I don't really come into these live chats with any like particular thing on my mind. I mostly just noticed I hadn't posted a YouTube video in like a week or a week and a half, and I just missed you guys and I wanted to say hi, and I haven't really had anything to say on the channel. So I was like, you know what? I should touch base with my people. So anyone can direct the conversation. Please, by the way, anyone can ask questions or be like, talk about this, or just share what's going on with you. Noam says, what was your big change? What was the thing that changed everything? That's a huge ass question. Since I'm not like particularly sure what you're talking about, what you're referring to, my big change is just when I had a big mental breakdown back in 2011. That changed everything because it just, my life changed. You know, I lost my mind, so to speak, and I had to spend a couple of years trying to get it back. That's a good question, though. Robert says, binge eating since I retired from the military. Yeah, I bet. Thank you for your service. Thomas Magnum, poop. There we go. Got me to say poop. Robert Young, any advice for the first 4 days without door? Currently drink 9 cans, 5% per day. Big fan of yours, mate. Any advice for the first 4 days without... Oh, I'm assuming you mean without beer? You currently drink 9 cans a day. Be careful when you first start. I obviously consult a physician, blah, blah, blah. Disclaimer, I'm just a guy sharing my opinion. But one, I appreciate your honesty. I think that's dope. I love that you can be honest about that. Two, I do know that if you are physically dependent, which you may be, if you do in fact drink 9 a day, then there's a chance for seizure if you stop cold turkey. So maybe just be careful, consult a physician, and or wean yourself down. I just appreciate you being real. Lone Tardy Gray says hello, what up? Rune Skitsing says hey. Hey, right back to you. Vader says, do you ever suffer from insomnia? I mean, I don't know that I've ever like legit suffered from insomnia. I don't know that I actually have anything clinical, but depending on what I'm eating or when I'm eating or if I'm fasting or my behaviors, let's just say, my rituals, my sleep hygiene, I can be left up all night type of thing and ruminating and not being able to sleep. But I typically do okay with sleep. Typically, like I don't imagine I'll do great tonight because I just binge ate a lot of crap last night. Rune says, hey. Oh, we already said that. Wolfgar 3000 cute. You're cute. Brad says, my endo wants me to. Gotcha. Robert says, just curious what music you actually listen to. I mean, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with music like many young people are. Now I'm like an old man. And I don't really listen to music in the same way that I did when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, it meant so much to me, and so I bought albums and I explored them and I listened on my headphones and listened over and over again. You know, now I basically just listen to music, either listening to podcasts or I'm listening to music while I work out. So I'm in the gym 4 hours a day, coaching for 2 of those hours, coaching CrossFit, and the other 2 I'm training. So kind of just whatever comes up on playlists and Pandora, anything that gets me going. But like my heart is always going to be an R&B. Like I'm an R&B sort of guy. Chupa Mikauda 7 says, by the way, concerning your stomach ulcer, have you tried boiling fresh ginger slices and drinking the water, ginger tea? Add some honey and that may help your stomach work for me. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm currently doing cabbage juice every day and honestly celery juice every day as well. But I'm so human. Listen to this. Like every time my stomach starts to feel a little bit better, I drink or I eat. So I just like, I kind of, my adult responsibility goes by the wayside. So I haven't fully healed, but I think it is starting to slowly get better. Daniel Lopez says, hey Noah, have you watched Kyle Sullivan on YouTube? He has a great perspective on sobriety, different from the 12 steps. No, I haven't, but I'll definitely be down to check him out. Tiffany Gabar says, withdrawing from Prestique. It's been 6 weeks. I bumped in your videos. They've helped. That must be so hard. I'm glad the videos helped. Hang in there. Brad Kindersley says, my endo wants me to stop my TRT to see if I can try to get it back naturally. Been on 8 months. Should I take something for the time off, like Clomid? You'll have to discuss that with him. I don't think it would be smart, if it were me, to go from being on TRT, right, where you're bringing in something exogenous and then taking it away, because there will be you'll have a rebound problem. There's no chance in my mind, right? In my humble opinion, I don't think there's any chance you could stop TRT completely and not have it affect your mood and your vitality and probably your sleep and a bunch of other things. So just be careful. But yeah, between you and your doctor, let's see. Don says, hi everyone. Hey Don. Eco City Crafts official. What happened to the Patreon? Why aren't you doing anything for the supporters on it? Because I'm a dick. I think about that all the time. I don't even know. I have to do something about that. I'll set an alarm. I need to like refund people and then restructure the channel or restructure my Patreon, because it's so helpful to support small YouTubers. And then I just made it too big and elaborate, and my life got too busy, and I got overwhelmed. It's not acceptable. Patreon change tiers, refund change, refund tiers. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that this week. I'm going to go through it, refund people, and make it like 1 or 2 tiers, maybe just one, maybe 1 tier where it's just super simple, something I won't get overwhelmed with, because it means a lot. It's so helpful. But you're right, I have been screwing that up, so please forgive me, and then I'll make it right this week. Robert did send a message on Patreon. Okay, yeah, I'll get on the Patreon, guys, I promise. We are waking up. I got DPDR after smoking weed for the first time. Yikes, yeah, it's a very common story. Scary. Robert Jenkins, damn, 20 pounds since retiring. I lost my mind. I can't find it. It'll come back, dude. Blue Cool says, greeting from Singapore. Always good to see you. Vanessa C, advice for helping SO who has anxiety, depression, significant other, depression on medications but sleeps most of the time. Oh man, my advice to you, Vanessa, this is something I've said over the years, and I just believe this so much, but if your significant other is suffering from anxiety and depression, the best thing you can do is just take really good care of yourself. Honestly, like take extra good care of yourself, because he or she is going to be in for a long battle. It means you're going to be in for a long battle, and if you're not able to take care of yourself, if your cup isn't full, there won't be much to give. And the best thing you can do for someone is be your strongest self, be your best version of you, because that will just enable you to be consistent. It'll enable you to be the backbone, be unwavering. And I feel like if anyone just gets too caught up in trying to get someone better, they'll lose themselves, because depression and anxiety and all this stuff, it can take a lot of time. It can take a lot out of someone who's supporting another. So I think people always think there's going to be some like magic advice, but it really is just to live to your highest standard for yourself and be that person. Tiffany says, any advice on withdrawing from antidepressants? I've been having a hard time. I mean, I've had to come off antidepressants, and I've had to deal with brain zaps and mood swings and just the chaos of emotions and all that stuff. And my advice is just to get support, be brave, and understand that it will get better, and really intuitively, bring that into your being, that it's going to get better and you can do this. But get support. Just even you being here, letting us know. I mean, I'm rooting for you, and I'll be pulling for you. Luna Zappelli says, I remember when I was younger in elementary school, I was relentlessly bullied because I have Asperger's. It made me so sad, but throughout middle school and high school, it came out more and more. I appreciate you sharing that. Kids are dicks. Kids are dicks. I think, if I'm reading that right, I think it's getting better for you, right? You said it came out more and more, like in a good way, I hope. But thanks for sharing. Very brave of you. Crap, where are we? Mr. Jaws the Revenge 87. That's funny. Says, doctor has me on Klonopin for insomnia. It's the only thing that helps, and it worries me. Yeah, Klonopin's a powerful benzo, right? That's a very, very powerful medication. That's for sure. I was using and abusing at times Klonopin back in the day. I still have some as needed. I just tend to not need it, but it's effective. It's just addictive, and it's a fair thing to worry about. You know what though? What's interesting is I've heard different psychiatrists and different medical professionals bring this up and have different opinions on the whole taking a benzo, which is meant to be right as a one-off. You know, I don't think it was ever traditionally created to take consistently, other than in acute times of extreme anxiety. I mean, you're doing it for insomnia, but I met a doctor once who was like, look, if taking low-dose Klonopin is helping you with XYZ and giving you like legitimate symptom relief, and it seems that nothing else is, then what's the problem with taking it? And then I have other doctors, like Dr. James Powers, who was, and I guess you could say still is my psychiatrist. I just don't tend to see him very much. He's like he's adamant that you can't take Klonopin or any benzo like Xanax or Valium, I think is one as well. Long term, you need to be off it more than you're on it. So his rule, even back when I was acutely suffering from like extreme anxiety and a lot of other things, he would never let me go more than 3 times a week taking a dose, because he was so worried about physical dependence and then the withdrawal that can happen from that. And then, of course, how those symptoms can mimic and recreate depressive symptoms and anxious symptoms and sometimes amplify them. So now we don't know what's what. I digress. But if it's giving you relief, just work with your doctor. Aringa Schwab says, do you always intermittent fast? If so, for how long? Yeah, I definitely intermittent fast every single day. Like I haven't had my first meal yet today. It's 5, but I ate like really late at night last night. So I tend to stick to like a 16-8 or 18-6, 18 hours of not eating, 6 hours of eating, with one longer fast per week usually. And it's sort of like, it's pretty, I mean, it has a lot of great benefits in general, but it also, if you know that you're going to be like naughty, it's a good way to balance things out a little bit. Variable ratio says, started TRT replacement, but took 1 injection of enethate I had left over. Will the doctor know? I don't think so. Backfire recordings. Dude, are you drinking beer again? Yeah, I am. Taylor Crick, what up? Watching the Eagles soon. I have cerebral palsy. Sometimes I find it hard. Your videos have helped me so much when I'm in pain. I feel like that's the best thing I could hopefully offer, is just some solidarity with people. I hope you enjoy the Eagles game. I hope that goes well for you. The John Houston, thanks for sharing your TRT experience with us. It's been a helpful resource of information. Yeah, I'm really glad I did. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad it's been, my anecdotal experience has been valuable to some of you, and that's cool. Information is important. People need to share more. Random Rachel says, what is one of your favorite positive affirmations? Oh man, I think the one I ended up writing is that you matter. I believe I'm good enough. I love myself. So I'm worthy, stuff like that. Anything to counteract that instinct that I have and many people have that says there's something bad or wrong about the way I am, so that's a good question. Danny League says, hey Noah, how's the diet going on the stomach ulcer? Yeah, Danny, it was going really well. I was really strict. I was scared, and I started to feel a bit better, and now I've been taking more chances, and I find myself like, oh, it's feeling better. I'll drink some beer with you guys on the weekend, and then it flares up a little bit. So I'm really battling with that part of it, being not negotiating and being committed and responsible, and it's interesting. It's humbling. We Are Waking Up says, have you ever tried real bulletproof coffee, ghee, or grass-fed butter and CBD oil? I don't know that CBD oil was ever intended. Oh, is that what you're saying is real bulletproof coffee? I've tried traditional bulletproof coffee once, but I didn't add CBD oil. MCT oil. Robert Jenkins says, wife got me on XM Firewave and Classic. Nice. Uncle Roy says, hey there, great channel. Thank you for being so open. I appreciate that, and you're welcome. Robert Jenkins, question with rumination. What's your sense on weed smoking? I just don't like how it feels to be high. I've never, ever enjoyed how it felt to be high. So I think like anything, I mean, some people can smoke weed and have a healthy relationship with it. Some people can smoke weed and be high 24/7, and that's always like the thing. I'm always like wondering of myself, like, am I choosing or are things choosing for me? And I think weed's the same way. It's like, if it is the way you manage those things, right? If rumination or thought spirals and obsession, right? If that's just something that really gets you, and weed becomes your outlet, your way of coping, then it sort of, what's the word? It sort of perpetuates this idea that you can't, perhaps, right? Perhaps you can't deal with it alone or on your own. And I think it's definitely one of those things that would be, in an ideal situation, something you're learning to manage and deal with, so that, let's say, when you smoke weed, it can just be its own thing. It doesn't have to be a coping mechanism. But that's just my opinion. Nathaniel Floyd says, let's all work together, guys and gals. Yes, sir. Amen. Robert Jenkins says, don't refund my tier. I should. Oh yeah. Dude, super chats. So, guys, I swear I'm not trying to promote this. I just forgot it was a thing. I swear to God, I forgot. But I just got a $5 super chat, which is just basically a way for someone to get their comment highlighted like instantly up to the front of the list, so I know that someone has put their hard-earned money out for me, and that means I'm going to immediately stop what I'm doing and answer that question and show some love. So James Brandstetter just did a $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. It's super nice of you. It just says, Big Nona, you're my bud. Yeah, ditto. Yeah, you're looking out for me right there, so that's cool. I appreciate it very much. Very, very kind of you. Where were we? So, guys, yeah, another thing about the super chat is there's 69 people kicking it. I'll never grow up. But yeah, I just can't possibly get to all the questions. I always try my best, and I'll keep working through them as fast as I can. But if you're just like, no, like I want for sure to have my question answered, I want you to read my comment, even like you can put like a buck or whatever, and it would just bring yours to the top and get my attention. But otherwise, I'm going to get through as many as I possibly can. Where were we? Sorry, guys. AR Campbell says, hi, Noah. What's going on, man? Nathaniel says, I love your channel name, bro. Thank you. Yeah, high school nickname. Just stuck. Robert Jenkins, you're worth it. I love that. Blue Cool says, any possibility for a quick body update? Not right now. I don't think so right now. I think this is the most, I have just let myself, as my stomach has started to feel a little bit better, I have just gone crazy for the last 9 days. Like, absolutely crazy. Like, I bet I don't even have abs right now. My body snaps back really, really fast, so I'm sure within a week I'll probably be right just where I want to be. But this last week I've just been like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna go crazy, which I have. Marcel Lopez. I'll do a body update on the channel soon, though. I'll do that on the channel soon. Marcel Lopez, on test now for 7 months, gained 15 pounds. What did you do to lower your weight on test? Well, first things first, Marcel. I hope I'm saying that right. I gained up. Everyone, how about this? If you really need testosterone, like the way I do and like you do, then you were low. Like I was really, 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 really low when I first was diagnosed with low T. And because I was so low, I didn't have the amount of muscle that I was always intended to have, that I was physiologically meant to have. So just by being on TRT period and normalizing and having high normal or whatever testosterone, you're just going to gain weight no matter what. I mean, let's say even if you eat really healthy, and even if you're trying not to, you're going to put on muscle that was always supposed to be there. I know some guys, I feel like I can't name names, but I know some guys who they got on TRT, right? They found out via blood draw that they had like no testosterone. Crazy deficient. And then they got on TRT, and within like 6 months, they did some like body imaging testing, let's say a DEXA scan. They gained like 9-10 pounds of muscle within like, let's say 6 months to a year without training. And then it stopped. And then it fully stopped. It's not like you're going to just grow forever. But once you've gotten your equilibrium to the right spot, you're at that nice normal zone, or at least where you will be on TRT, you'll stop gaining. So that just brings us to the typical age-old question in terms of lowering the weight. And for me, what a tool that I utilize that just made sense for the way I am was intermittent fasting. I track my food on MyFitnessPal, so I have a sense of if I'm in a caloric surplus or a caloric deficit. And that really helped me. Getting sober was huge for losing weight, although I have managed to still like stay lean / even if I need to lose weight. Not being sober as I've gone back and forth in that journey. So intermittent fasting and tracking food, that'll get her done. The Medic 512, any noted difference in your pain overall, health falling, the bone broth fast. Any noted difference in your pain / overall health following the bone broth fast? So I did a 72-hour bone broth fast. I put it on the channel. It's a long-winded video. My ulcer, or what I believe to be ulcer or gastritis, it is slowly getting better. But I did start immediately after the bone broth fast. I started drinking vegetable juice every day, fresh, cold pressed, masticating juice or vegetable juice. About 2 cabbages, about 2 16-ounce glasses of cabbage juice every day, and then some celery juice and stuff like that. In general, what I've noticed is that my digestion has just gotten so much better. But I ended up just abusing it. Like, my digestion started getting better, so I started kind of eating more of the foods that tend to inflame me, because I'm just like, this is amazing. I was like, I can eat anything, you know. So one thing is for sure, since I did that and then started doing the fresh juice every day, the cabbage and celery, mostly cabbage though, I've noticed that I've just got much better digestion. Much better digestion. Like, I'm someone, guys, who tends to have diarrhea all the time. Like, that's just, everyone just knows that about me. Oh, Noah's got to be careful with what he eats, whether it's ice cream or pizza or, you know, a few beers. Like, one way or another, everyone's known this about me my whole life. The next day, I will be struggling with my stomach. And it seems, knock on wood, but it just seems like my stomach is just crazy strong now. My digestion is crazy strong since the bone broth fast, plus the juicing. Andrew Thoppel says, hey, what's up, Andrew? Holly Davidson says, Tiffany Goddard, point of return, check their website. Okay. Andrew Thoppel says, how to find peace. That's a great question. I don't know. I'd say, how to find peace. For me, I found the most peace, I think, in just learning how to love myself. Like, removing judgment and expectation from loving and liking myself just unconditionally has brought me a lot of peace. And then just living in your truth. And I still don't always do that at all. But the more I do, the better it goes. And in general, the more I just show myself some love and afford myself some grace, I just feel more at peace. Like, I'm not at constant war with trying to be good enough. I just love myself. Vesman says, are you taking medication for anxiety? I am not. I used to take, as needed, the Klonopin or whatever. I think I was doing the generic, though, so clonazepam. And back in the day, I was taking like a ton of meds. Tons of meds. And we were trying to figure out what was wrong with my brain when I had my breakdown. Backfire Recording says, I stopped drinking and started jogging to help my anxiety. It helps a lot. Yeah, drinking is bad for anxiety, that's for sure. Good for you. Nathaniel Floyd, you're absolutely right, bro. Blue Cools, how's family planning coming along? Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, it's not currently coming along. It's like, I feel like it's just one of those things I'm always going to talk about, but I'll be very surprised if I ever truly do anything about it. I did meet this really dope dude who's been kind of almost life coaching me through the stomach thing, and he's on TRT as well. And he was talking about how, like, he believes I'll be able to get fertile again if I want to. So, I met Tiffany Gabbard. Sorry, no worries. Tanya Gallant says, thank you for your honesty on your channel. I have depression, and my son has it too, and he also has social anxiety and weed addicted. It has been so hard. We have reached out to every service. I can only imagine how hard that is. Thank you for your honesty right there with us. I think it's so cool that people could get on my live stream or comment on one of my videos and just be real and just say, this is the way things are, you know, this is how things are going. And I wish you everything you want, Tanya. I hope you and your son get some relief soon. I mean, my depression, everything I go through essentially just ebbs and flows. And I hope you ebb in the right direction soon. Tiffany says, it's messed up because I didn't fall into a depression until I took antidepressants. Oh, that's terrible. I've heard of that. You know, those things do come. I mean, they're playing psychoactive drugs, not psychoactive drugs, but psych medications in general. Psychiatric drugs is what I meant to say. We're playing with with neurotransmitters. We're playing with our brain chemistry, and there are side effects. And I know they can be really helpful for a lot of people, but of course they can create trouble. Either way, though, Tiffany, either way, I believe in your healing. I believe you can get better, and in your brain and your body, it wants to feel good. So don't give up. Nolan Summers says, last December I got DPDR after a bad LSD/weed trip. Didn't know what it was for the first 3-ish months, and it was so hard. Oh, so hard. Your channel and videos really helped save my life in a lot of ways. Thank you. You're welcome. I can't tell you how often you guys save me just by being here, just by talking with me, just by supporting me, sharing your stories. You know, I just think it's so important that we all just are as honest as we're capable of being about what's actually going on and the things we've done and how we experience life. Nathaniel Floyd says, your videos help me wake up every time, man. That's cool. Abby Asher says, hi, Noah. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right, Abby. I'm doing all right, and I hope you're doing well, too. Dawn says, what helps me is if you live in the moment and take it one day at a time, you can get through anything. That's good. I like that. Jordan Weekly says, hey, what's up, Jordan? Bunyan says, hello, no, guy. What's up? What up, dude? Nathaniel Floyd, yeah, Noah, thanks, man. Thanks, bro, for your videos. It's my pleasure, boss. Robert Jenkins says, by the way, got Healing from Depression book this past week. Actually like it so far. It's really good. It's a really good book by Douglas Block. He's a total nutcase, but it's a good book. I'm just kidding. Tiffany Gavar says, thanks, Holly Davidson, good. Jordan Weekly, are you still actively drinking? I am. As much as I don't want to ever talk about that on this channel because I don't want you guys to run off from me, I am at the moment. Luna Zappelli says, have you seen Kung Fu Panda? I have. That's how I got my start in martial arts. I remember my dad taking me to see it, and that was that. I am now a first-degree black belt in karate. My favorite is Tigress. That's so cool. I love that. It's badass. Terry Story says, hey man, I followed you for almost a year now. How did you control your acne problem? I've been on testosterone therapy for about a year and I still have some acne issues. Any suggestions and your diet? Yeah, so I had really bad acne when I first started my TRT, guys, but it did get better when I lowered my dose. So when I was a little over-medicated for some time. So when I lowered my dose, it got better. And when my sleep habits improved, it got better. When my hygiene improved, it got better. And then I just say, the more I ate clean, whole foods, unprocessed foods, it got better. So I'd say it was a combination of those things, but probably most notably just making sure that I wasn't over-medicated and producing extra oil and stuff like that. It's a pain in the ass, though. Now, Sinister Minister, greetings from Cleveland, Ohio, brother. What's up, dude? I haven't seen you on... I feel like I haven't seen that name in a long time. Good to see you. Ted Mosby says, so happy you're doing another Sunday live stream. Please do it more often as possible. This is extremely helpful. You're welcome, Ted. And I always tell myself, I'm like, I'm going to do a live stream every Sunday. And then Sunday rolls around, and I'm just like, I don't want to. But then I always feel so good when I do. It's not like this is hard. I'm not working or anything. I'm just kicking it with you guys, and I love doing it. It's just, I don't know. I can be lazy. The Medic 512, how do you like to break a prolonged 72-hour fast? Just with like a very light meal, probably like a bowl of soup or something like that. Maybe a very small bowl of oatmeal, perhaps with blueberries and some cinnamon. Something really light, under 300 or 400 calories, chewing excessively and just waking up my body again. And then realistically probably some bomb-ass big meal later in the day. Bonnie Downing, hey Noah, glad to see you. I've suddenly developed driving anxiety and I really don't want to be around anyone. Any advice on not letting myself slip into severe agoraphobia? I love your channel. Wow, that's a really good specific question. I mean, I think for me when I start getting anxiety is I have to always challenge my thoughts. I have to challenge these things that are scaring me or overwhelming me. Really challenge them. I have to like be of two minds. So if I believe that I may be responding, reacting, or engaging in a way that is what's the right word? Might not be right, I guess. I kind of try to be like my own parent, I guess you would say. So I try to speak to myself internally, much like an incredibly supportive, incredibly reasonable, logical, and loving parent would speak to me, let's say. and that really helps me. So perhaps just make sure that you are constantly reinforcing that you are okay, that you will take care of you, and that you can do this, and maybe doing some affirmations in the morning saying, I can drive safely, I will overcome my fear of driving, I do enjoy being around people. Just sort of get used to that language within yourself, and build up some sort of credibility there, and maybe that would help. But that, I mean, I'm not a professional. That's a very specific question. Yeah, but I believe in you. Bunyan says, stay strong, man. Thank you. White Lightning says, hey, man, when you were suffering depersonalization, did you have problems with anxiety, panic attacks, and social situations? I've suffered on and off with this for a few months, even with good friends. So when I had DP, I just avoided social situations. I didn't necessarily think I was going to have a panic attack, but any extra stimulation when I was really badly depersonalized, any extra stimulation period, it made it worse. It made it harder to handle. It made that foggy, weird, dreamlike state amplify. And I think I just had to make my situation smaller, in order to do better and to thrive more. Big, giant open spaces, big, giant crowded spaces, those can be triggering and activating for people anyway, but when you're depersonalized, I mean, even more so. I hope that makes sense. It'll get better, though. Variable Ratio says, thanks for answering a rando question, and thanks for the positive energy, and great week to you and yours. Ditto. You're welcome. James Brandstetter, Noah, P.O. Box, bro? Yeah, dude, I let that shit expire. I need to go back and update it. Bunyan, you seem like a real dude. I try. I guess I do try. Thank you. Jessica Whitehead says, hi, Big No-No. Hey, Jessica. Oh, okay. We are waking up, says, I met MCT oil. I was like, CBD oil and bulletproof coffee. I was like, I have not heard of that. That's a new one. Okay. Mara says, thanks for your videos, man. They really help me when I feel bad and anxious. I'm glad they could help you, bro. Truly. Debs in Manchester, UK. What? Dang it, sorry. The comment thread just like aggressively jumped on me. Debs says, what you chatting about? Anything and nothing. Robert says, well, after 21 years of service, I need it every so often. Appreciate the advice though. Brad S says, you were the first person I subscribed to when I took tea. First, thank you. I was also put on lots of pain pills by the doctor. I stopped them cold, and it's tough, but thank God, getting better. Stay strong. Beautiful. You too, Brad. That's a cool share. My Weebops says, if you did not want to have kids, would you take HCG? I don't think so. I mean, personally, I don't feel like, I just don't necessarily see what the point would be other than to help with size down there because there's atrophy. But otherwise, I don't imagine there'd be a reason. One less thing to deal with. Oh, snap. Another super gracious Lou guy just dropped a 21, I think it's almost Canadian dollars, but yeah, a very hefty super chat. So thank you, Lou guy. All he said was peace. Peace back to you, man. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for blessing me. That's an incredible gift. I'm thankful and I'm humbled. It's crazy. That's so cool. Brad S says, and I'm talking 5 years back at least. A.R. Campbell, any advice on supporting a partner struggling with substance abuse? I try to keep myself taken care of and keep my own cup full. Is there anything your wife has learned to do to support you? Yeah, I honestly, I certainly don't have to repeat that whole part of it, but just my wife, what she's learned, because I'm currently drinking again, and I very well could get sober tomorrow and not drink for 2 years. It's very unpredictable the way drinking comes in and out of my life. And it can be hard. But I think my wife realized that the best thing she can do for me is just let me go through my life experience, assuming I don't abuse mentally or emotionally her, which I don't. And she just, I think she has found that the stronger she is, the more independent she is, the less her finger is on the pulse of my every move, the less I waver, the calmer I tend to be, because she has realized that she has to She needs to put her happiness and her wellness and her success and her fulfillment. It needs to be independent, not of me, not just. I can't be the driving force for it all. And yeah, I guess in a roundabout way, I'm just saying that. I mean, one, figure out what you can and can't handle, and she's decided that she can and wants to handle me as a drinker or sober. But two, just know that you can be happy either way and work really hard on yourself. I know it sounds so cliche, but I've never seen Jess work so hard on herself lately. And this is the happiest I've ever seen her. This is the most fulfilled and independent she's ever seemed. And she doesn't put any pressure on me, and she just wants me to experience what I need to experience and be safe while I do it. It's incredibly relieving. Yeah. She just loves me unconditionally. Yeah. So we have another super chat. And oh wow, and Tina is asking a tough question. I think about this all the time. So Tina, thank you for that. $10 is huge. It's a big deal. So I appreciate you spending your hard-earned money. And we'll get to your question, of course, now. So Tina Howard, the gracious Tina Howard, asks the toughest question ever. I hate this question, but I'm glad you asked it. She says, so do you still consider yourself an alcoholic? Do you plan on quitting again? It's such a weird question, right? Because if I say, yeah, I consider myself an alcoholic, but I'm currently drinking, it's like, what the fuck does that mean then? Like, and is it just an alcoholic and don't care? Am I just an alcoholic and it's just too powerful? I'm beyond choice? Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. It's insidious that way. Gun to my head, though, do I still consider myself an alcoholic? Yes, I think so. Do you plan on quitting again? I always think I'm going to quit again, deep down in my heart. Deep down in my heart. I always think I'm going to quit again. I just don't know when. And I just pray that I stay safe and I'm gentle with myself and I'm not too hard on myself. But it's one of the strangest aspects of my life, especially as a YouTuber. Especially as a YouTuber who's made like a bazillion videos about sobriety. Sometimes it makes me just want to shut down the channel and just stop all this. Because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. But so far, I just keep presenting what's actually going on and who I actually am to the best that I can tell. Oh, Tina, good question. Good question. I don't want to be, and I sometimes try really hard to convince myself I'm not. Good freaking question. Okay, where were we? Super chats coming in hot. Super chats bringing in the goods in terms of tough questions. Jeez. Okay, where are we? Nicholas Smith, hi. Thank you for everything you do. Your advice helps me manage my depression. Thank you so much. That's amazing, Nicholas. You're welcome. It's nothing. Think nothing of it. Sarah Lennon says, I am struggling with my mental health issues at the moment, I'm assuming, at MO, and my chronic pain. Oh, chronic pain. I have close family member dying. Any suggestions would be helpful. Oh, Sarah. I mean, now I feel like a broken record without knowing anything particular, right? And certainly without being a professional and not necessarily being armed with all the information. I just believe in the basics so much, and I just believe in the power to heal. And I believe if you can do one thing, if you can bring yourself to do one thing that you haven't been willing to do, whatever the path of least resistance is for you, it could be the start of a slew of changes that will lead you out of the darkness. So you've got so much going on. Chronic pain is so exhausting and it's so depressing. And mental health issues, I understand. They're their own battle. It's an Everest battle sometimes. On top of a life circumstance like that, I just think you need so much grace for yourself. You need to have so much patience with yourself. And you need to believe that you can change, or that's possible, or believe that someone else believes. Like you could leverage me for that. So I would say look through the best known acts of self-care that you could find. You can even Google that shit. And then pick one thing that you're going to do for the next week or two. One single thing that you're going to do for the next week or two. And I find that when I'm adhering to some game plan bigger than myself, I just feel like hope stays alive that way. But if I'm only doing the same old things I've always done and I'm getting the same old results I've always gotten, it can be deflating. So just know that I'm pulling for you. Robert Jenkins just dropped a crazy $20 super chat. Thank you. That's wild. I'm so grateful, though. It's crazy nice. Really, really nice. Robert, I don't see a question or a directing line of like, there's no message attached to it, so bear with me. Guys, I'm going to scroll real quick to see if Robert, who just blessed me with 20 freaking dollars, which is crazy, I'm going to go see if his comment just was like somewhere else and he just forgot to add it. So hang on one sec, okay? Robert Jenkins. Okay, so Robert says, another question. I know, so yeah, I did find a question for Robert, and I'm going to answer it and make sure there's not another one. But for future, Robert, and again, thank you so much. I don't expect you to ever give me that sort of money again. But if you ever did, just make sure you leave a comment there so that I can get to it right away. Robert says, another question. I know one of your videos you mentioned praying. Has praying, looking for faith, helped you at all? It definitely has helped me, but it's also one of those things that I don't consider myself particularly religious, but I definitely want to be spiritual, and I am comforted by the idea that just praying can make me not feel so alone. And I've just heard that it's like one of those manifest destiny sort of things. Like, I get scared, I get hopeless, I get worried sometimes, and I know how small I am, right? Like, I think we're all pretty in tune with just how fickle this whole life is, and just how troubled we really are. And I don't mean like I'm not blessed. I just mean I just know that I can't handle all this by myself, and so I like praying because it almost feels like meditating and it feels calming, and so I do it. When I'm in pain, I'm pretty malleable. I will bend at the will of my pain. And when I'm feeling good, I tend to take more chances. But I was in pain, many times. I've been in pain many times, mentally speaking. Physically lately with the stomach thing, but it's getting better. And when you're desperate, you'll do just about anything. And so I was desperate. And someone was like, try prayer. Just ask the universe, ask God. God could just be an acronym, right? Good orderly direction. Just ask for help. Just say you need help, and so I do. I pray every day. Robert, I'm going to double check, guys, to see if Robert left me any more questions. Robert says, I actually listened to your videos driving to work. Got to love Bluetooth in the vehicles. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. I'm just going to go through some of Robert's stuff, guys, because he just dropped $20. So I just want to respect that and honor his hard-earned money that he gave me. So it says, Robert also said, regardless of if you're drinking, you're an inspiration to many people. You're an adult and you're responsible to know when to drink or when not to drink. And this is coming from a sailor. Thanks, Robert. Robert says, do you think eating a lot of fast food or drinking caffeine could affect your rumination at all? Yeah, absolutely. The reason I ask is this past week I went into a major rumination kick. The only thing I noticed is me eating a lot of fast food about 4 to 5 times a week. Yeah, absolutely. What we eat impacts the way we think and the way we sleep and the way we process stuff and our ability to de-stress. So if I'm going to eat a highly inflammatory diet, that inflammation is going to manifest, right? It's going to disrupt sleep. It's going to spike blood glucose and then all that stuff. It's all very much interconnected. So yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if fast food becomes any sort of normal thing for anyone, or drinking, or smoking, or whatever, it's going to show up in sleep. It's going to show up in energy. And it's going to show up in the way you process the world for sure. No doubt about it. And I think we're caught up. I think we're caught up with Robert's stuff. So cool. Oh, I just read the other comment. All right, guys. I'll get back to where I was. I take it very serious when someone does a super chat. Like, I was trying to think to myself, like, would I do that? Like, I'm a YouTuber. Like, you guys don't know. I mean, I hope you know me a little bit from my channel, but it's a lot of just the idea of like tipping a content creator. It's like a big thing to do. So I just always want to be really, really respectful when someone does that. I digress. Here we go. Brad S. says, man, read mine whenever, brother. I'm thankful so much for your service. Thanks, Brad. James Brandstetter says, Noah, how is the drinking and how is your wife doing with it? I don't want this to become too... I don't want the drinking thing to dominate this too much, but I also want to honor the questions that come through. I'm managing, I guess you could say. I'm not going to lie and act like I'm not having some fun. I'm not going to lie that I'm not having a little misery here and there when I overdo it. So my wife is handling it immaculately, impeccably, really, really well, which has been cool. She's really separated herself from it and just been like, that's you, that's your life. I love you. I'm going to continue to focus and work on myself. And that's been really cool. But I definitely still drink too much sometimes. And then other times I don't. I kind of do better, but I dare not say I've got it locked down. How's your drinking going? I'm just kidding. My Webups says, change of weather has everyone eating more. For real, though. Maybe that's what it is. I gotta be really careful about this, you guys. Like, last year coming out of the summer, excuse me, it was the most I've ever noticed my mood being altered for the worst when the sunshine went away. So I think I told myself this year I was going to sign up for some sort of like tanning package, not because I care about being tan, but just because I needed, like, I know that there are some higher end tanning beds that can offer you some of the benefits of like light therapy. Anyway, Bunyan says, you're awesome, dude. Keep going. No, you're awesome. But I will. I hope you do too. A Blue Cool 789 says, no abs is fine. We just want to see your progress, even for off days. I feel like, I don't know if this is just like straight up shitty. So Blue Cool has been a long time supporter, and he's just one of those supporters who likes to like body updates. You know, I post a lot about it on my YouTube channel. I'm certainly not shy about being shirtless, especially when I'm feeling lean, like many people do. But I almost want to be like, all right, if you know, I'll do a body update. I'll do at least an upper body update if we can raise $20 more during this live stream. I'll do that, something like that. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep the shirt on and keep this moving. So basically, I'm like whoring myself out now that I think about what I just said. But I'm shameless. Okay? I'm shameless. But if not, I'll do another body update on the channel soon. Dan... Dude, Robert, stop. Yeah. So, Robert with a $10 donation. Don't donate anymore. He goes, no question this time. And last donation, wife whipped my ass if I donate anymore. Just better not refund my tier, bro. You really did help in saving my life 6 months ago. Okay, I hear you, and I won't. I'm still going to restructure and fix the Patreon thing, so I want people to actually feel good about being there. Don't get in trouble with your wife over tipping me. I'm good. You've made me feel like amazing. Thank you. Save your dough, bro. Dan, but thank you. It's crazy. Dan Strachan says, hey Noah, diagnosed with clinical depression 3 years ago. I've worked so hard on self-care and it's now become background noise. Still uncomfortable, but can handle it. Can you relate? Any tips? Yes, Dan. I can definitely handle it. I can definitely relate, and I definitely have some tips. The big annoying cliche tip is just keep going, okay? Don't short yourself on the self-care. Don't start deciding this is your life. Don't make any professions for the future. You don't know that. Let me tell you this. So when I had my first breakdown, well, my only real breakdown, but I've relapsed in depression. But when I had my breakdown in 2011, the kind of mental health breakdown that I didn't know was possible, didn't believe was possible, there was like this acute time, right, where I was like genuinely, freakishly depressed. And my whole mission was to get out of it. Like I had to get out of it, and I didn't think I could. And I thought I was going to die, and I was suicidal, and it took forever. And then, in spite of me, it got better. But it did not fully go away. And I think that was one of the most heartbreaking things about being really depressed, is that I assumed that, you know, you're depressed, right? And then you're just not. But what ended up being left with me was a legitimate case of dysthymia, aka chronic low-grade depression. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, I'm not dangerously depressed anymore, but I don't feel like I hoped I would feel. Like I thought one day it would be like before. I had this idea of like life before depression. What is it going to feel like? And it wasn't that. And then I remember thinking like, fuck, well, is this it? Like, am I always going to be just like a little depressed? Maybe have better stretches, do okay, but not really feel that good. And long story long, what I'm getting at here and what I want you to know, and I hope you internalize, is that here I am, right? Breakdown 2011, year and a half to get out of the worst of it. Brutal. And now we're in 2019. We're 8 years removed from that. And I can tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that my mental health over these last 4 or 5 months, maybe 4 months, this is the best 4 or 5 month stretch I have ever had with my mental health, ever. I've never been this mentally stable with my depression. I've felt better and more consistent these last 4 months than I ever imagined I could be. In fact, I would have, if you told me even 2 or 3 years ago, hey, in 2019, you're going to have the most stable mental health you've ever had, I'd be like, fuck off. No, I'm not. I'd be like, I've been at this a long time. I know how my brain works. But it's true. And so I guess I just want you to know, Dan, that you never know when things are going to get really good. You never really know when they're going to get bad, but there's still hope. And you can still fight. And you can still try. And yeah, in spite of yourself. End of my rant. Elizabeth Berger says, I'm going through a breakup and the boyfriend was unfaithful. Fuck. That sucks. That sucks really bad. I'm instantly annoyed, but let's keep reading. He also helped me through my mom's death, and now I have all the bad memories coming up, and I can't stop feeling suicidal. Listen, feeling suicidal doesn't make you suicidal. That being said, please go get help or make a phone call or call one of those tip lines or hotlines that you can talk to someone for free if there's even a chance. If you have a plan or anything like that, you are worth saving. You are worth holding on to. But the topic of feeling suicidal is interesting. I dealt with suicidal feelings forever. Or ruminations rather, or I thought about it all the time when I was depressed. And in a weird way, they were very comforting to me. And I know that's sounds backwards because they're scary and I didn't like them, but there was an oddly comforting thing about having suicidal thoughts because it just reminded me oh, I don't have to be in pain forever. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is that you're in pain and you don't want to be in pain and you just can't stop. But this will pass. This will pass. The breakup is a moment in time. It's a brutal one. It's a painful one. But it will pass. And you'll forget what this felt like. And you'll be made stronger for it. And I think as long as you're safe, I think you need to let yourself feel whatever you feel. And don't necessarily try to stop feeling that way. Again, as long as you're safe, physically safe. Talk about it though. Get support. Be angry. Don't give yourself permission to fucking hate this. But stay safe. And I'm so sorry. People that are unfaithful, it's like my job, right? Or at least in my mind, don't ever judge. But I hate that happens. I fucking hate. I hate that happens. I just feel like I could never do that, to Jess. I hate that happens. I'm glad though, and it's cool that you were able to see this. I'm glad that he helped you with your mom's death. I can't imagine how difficult that would be. So that means one way or another, he played an important role in your life. And it just sucks that he had to hurt you. Anyway, I'm rooting for you. Lyndon James says, happy to see you back. Thanks, bro. Who there? Yeah. Hi there. Excuse me 1 second, guys. What time do you want to go do pizza? Yeah, I'm live streaming. That's my wife right there hiding. 1 sec, guys. Sorry, 1 sec. Yeah, what time do you want to do Din Din? Cool, something like that. I don't know about 2, yeah. An hour sounds good. It's like 6 right now. I don't want to eat at like 8. I'd like to start digesting a little earlier than that. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. What you doing? Making banana bread. Yeah, my wife's making that banana bread dough. Babe, dinner has been definitely covered in this live stream. We've had some badass people kicking it with me and giving me dollars, and I've been shaking my ass for them. I bet someone here came for that. All right, where was I, guys? Where was I? We'll hang out for a little bit longer. I'm thinking I'll probably do this live stream for another 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna see how many questions I can get to, but I get so damn chatty. Lyndon James, happy to see you back. All right, thank you, Brad. Says Elizabeth, we've all been there. Stay busy. I know you're not alone. So that's a good advice. I'm gonna Svetlana Frankovich, nailed it. I love your affirmations. I'm not there yet. I recently got a psych evaluation and and have to start medication again. I'm scared. I'd be scared too. Be brave. Of everything, your videos. I'm scared. Of everything, your videos are comforting. Thank you. I'm glad I could comfort you. I want to, and just know that it's normal to be scared. I'd be scared too. But it doesn't mean things can't get so much better. Elizabeth says, thanks, Brad. Good. Mayar Shaheen says, I'm Muslim that loves you. Do you love me, friend? I love you as a friend, absolutely. I've got plenty of love to go around. Robert J. Terry Swords question marks. I don't remember the context of those question marks. Manrico 1, do you plan to work on fertility? Can you please keep us informed? I do plan on it. I will keep you informed. Dylan, some people are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I have no active swimmers in my downstairs mix up right now. Dylan Flanagan, how are you, man? I'm okay. I feel nice being with you guys, that's for sure. Dan Stratton. I should just do the first name. Another question. How did you have confidence and trust in yourself to drive after your breakdown? It's my next step with recovery, but not sure I have the mental capacity. You'll know. I just knew when I knew. But trust and confidence comes with time, and it comes with consistency and improvement, and some validation that things are headed the right way. So I would just say, as I trenched the lonely trail, I just got more confident, and it led to that manifesting or expressing itself, right, and driving and stuff like that. Naruto San Uzumaki says, is once an addict, always an addict true? I don't know if it's always true. I think there's some truth to it, though. There's a lot of interesting stories out there. A lot of people with interesting journeys, you know. Oh. Terry Swords says, are you about to... I'm not going to. Calm down. Terry Swords, hey man, I've been on testosterone for about a year now. Any suggestions on controlling the acne a lot better, and also struggle with PTSD? Any positive feedback would be good. The PTSD part, I imagine just if you can work with someone, and if you can't work with someone on your post-traumatic stress disorder, which is very real, then make sure you're learning about it and finding ways to gain information and empower yourself about it. So perhaps read a book that you're going to chip away at and do some exercises in that book. But basically just make sure you're taking some action with it, and then you're being gentle with yourself and not judging yourself. As far as the testosterone and the acne, I mentioned this earlier in the video. I don't expect you're here necessarily, but but for me, it's just making sure you're not over-medicated, you're sleeping enough, you're eating as clean as you possibly can. Those things will have a positive impact. My Weebop says, Elizabeth Berger, hang in there, stay strong. You will get through this. Don't be afraid to reach out to Hotline. They are there for you. Absolutely. Amen. Janice Laurie says, hi, Noah. Love your videos. You're an awesome person. Thanks, Janice. That feels good to read that. Noam Garfinkel says, have you been use plant medicine like mushrooms? Do you mean like for psychedelic purposes? If so, no. But if you mean just like reishi and those sort of, you know, those the fungi family that has a lot of health benefits, I guess the answer is still no. Nope. I guess the answer is no. I love mushrooms though. Mary Urban says, "Listen to you most mornings to get ready. You really save me from some roughness, dude. Love you. My love for you too. Thank you." Okay, we just got another super chat from Tina again. 10. Tina, I hope you know you don't have to do that much, but thank you. You're incredibly kind. And let's read what you have to say. So Tina, who just did a super chat, which if those of you are new, it just brings your question right to the top. It's a way of like tipping creators or whatever. She says, "Hi, didn't mean to give you tough questions earlier. Have you heard of emotional sobriety? If so, have you had to deal with it?" Great question, and I was kidding about the tough one. I mean, it was a tough question. It's a real ass question, that's for sure. Like, we're cutting the bullshit when we ask questions like that. But I've definitely heard of emotional sobriety, and let's see what Google has to say about it. Emotional sobriety. What is emotional sobriety? So it says, some might think that it means being happy, joyous, and free. Of course, people like this definition. It means that if they work a good program, they achieve physical sobriety and become happy in the process. There's a lot of recovering people through toast problems. So this article says, Psychology Today, "I believe that emotional sobriety is less about the quality of the feelings, good or bad, and more about the general ability to feel one's feelings. Being restored to sanity is an I see." That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, I think I've definitely had to deal with emotional sobriety, of course, and I think that how I process emotional sobriety, and Tina, I'd be really curious to know how you process like what it means to you. Is am I able, yeah, to feel the feelings I have, to be a gentle observer of those feelings, not a critical judge of those feelings, and navigate life and move through it regardless of what I'm thinking and feeling, with some dignity, grace, and purpose. So, but yeah, I definitely think the reason emotional sobriety, that word, comes up in conjunction with, let's say, getting sober, having physical sobriety, is because when we get sober, and I can attest to this, you've got more time in between your ears, and you think more, and you process things more, and it can be a little overwhelming. Yeah, great question. I hope I answered it to your satisfaction, by the way. Uncle Roy says, "The diarrhea all the time. That was me for so long. This is the openness I appreciate." Yeah, you're welcome. Slim Skinny, is drinking on TRT bad? I mean, drinking is unhealthy in general. It is not good for you. I don't really see that there's too much correlation between it and TRT. So yeah, in moderation, it's fine. In general, ethanol is a poison. So. Other male says, "Is TRT dosage still 50 milligrams every 3.5 days? How are your blood levels now?" I'm actually doing 60 milligrams every 3.5 days, and blood levels are really good. I upped it to 120 milligrams a week. Nirupama L says, "What should I do with too much external stressor, starting over in a new country, starting back at school to start my career while dealing with depression and anxiety?" I mean, I think that's something I think a lot of people can really relate to. That's a really good question. Is, you have to minimize stress, right? We all do, but you have to have a game plan around that. So you got to make your world small. First things need to come first. And if you can't, in my mind, right, you can't have time for getting back in school, time with your career, time with this, but not have time to pray, not have time to meditate, not have time to feed yourself what you need, not have time to get emotional and social support. I just think you need to create a hierarchy around the basics so that you can bolster your chances to be more successful in this great transition, to knock out your school in a really positive way. And the depression and anxiety part, man, I think that's the most important thing to deal with. And kind of nothing else really matters if you don't have a handle on that. It'll supersede the whole thing if that's really aggressive. So, I don't know, just make sure you're doing something. Make sure that you're not just waiting to feel better. but you're actively doing something. I think just the act of having a plan, maybe working with someone or reading a book, like Douglas Block has an amazing book that I want everyone in the world to read called Healing from Depression. And it just makes sure that you're, you know what you're doing. You're not just sitting there. And be brave, as I always love to say. Kendall Ogden says, I only had my breakdown after I got epilepsy, and they put me on these crazy drugs. Oh, that's rough, Kendall. Yeah, mine was a paradoxical reaction to medication as well. It must be so, so hard. I'm pulling for you. Lou Guy says, well, you're looking great. Thank you. My skin's a little puffy at the moment, I'd say. But thanks, Lou Guy. That's so badass that there's 70 people just kicking it. Just kicking it. I love it. It's like trying to imagine like just sitting in a big ass room with 70 you guys. Be like, you guys, like we're just all here. We're just all here together. Michael says, hey Noah, what's up, Mike? Robert Jenkins says, actually, okay, I already read that one earlier. Booty Boo says hello. Hearts. Hello right back to you. Hearts. Oh, hearts. Nolan Summers says, what's your favorite show? So if we're going past favorite show, I think it's probably something cliche like perhaps Breaking Bad, wonderful show. If it's a sitcom, then probably like Office or Parks and Rec. Wonderful shows. Definitely enjoy a show called Fargo. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's wonderful. I love this new show on Netflix called Working Moms. So funny. My wife and I really enjoy that. And then I do like Game of Thrones. I feel like Dexter, It's hard to say all-time favorite, though. That's tough. That's tough. Great question, though. It's fun. Lou Guy, you look like you're up, not down. I feel you, bro. Thank you. Robert Jenkins, regardless, I already read that one, too. Booty Boo said, that's so funny, Booty Boo. I love it. Says, I absolutely love watching you and your father. Thank you. So what she's referring to, guys, is I run another channel with my dad. I do all the production, editing, and marketing for it. Let's just say I started with him when I started this channel. And yeah, we have fun over there, the Paul Thomas MD YouTube channel. Brandon James says, no better TRT dosage than daily shots. 20 milligrams down to 14 milligrams micro with insulin needle, plus daily transcranial cream application, no ECG, no Arimidex. That's badass. That takes commitment, though, Brandon. I always I think you're right. I definitely think whatever keeps your testosterone levels the most consistent, period, is the best. But that's hard to do. That's, for me, I found that twice a week is just all I could imagine at this time doing, because I still don't like pinning. It's a hassle. It occasionally hurts. I just avoid it. Like, I think I'm supposed to do it today, and I'm like, I'll probably do it tomorrow because I just don't like doing it. Jet Set Life, my leg is numb. Well, that's not good. Go walk around. Tina Howard, so do you still consider yourself an alcoholic? Do you plan on quitting again? Already answered that question from you, Tina. Robert Jenkins, do you think eating a lot of fast food or drinking... Oh, yeah, we already talked about that. Robert, that's my guy. Luna Zappelli says, do you watch any anime? A recommendation I have is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I have part 1, 2, and 3, and the first half of part 4. Waiting to get the second half now, part 5 being released soon too. I think I did when I was a kid. I have I don't know, I think this is an anime movie, but like Princess Mononoke, or maybe just Princess Mononoke, something like that. I think, but I remember watching something to that effect when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved it. But I just haven't really sought it out, or maybe just haven't really been introduced to any that have caught my attention as I've become an old man. But I'm glad you found something you like. Terry Sword says, thank you for answering my question. I will continue to follow you in your struggle with depression. Soul Reborn 44. Hey Noah, got any ideas on how to overcome intrusive thoughts and compulsive unwanted thoughts? Yeah, I definitely do. I've got one of my favorite things that helps me to this day with rumination, because I think weird ass shit all the time. We all do. And sometimes I'll think something, right, and be like, oh, why did I think that? And the moment you do that, it's gotcha. You're in trouble. So here's something that really helped me that maybe will help you. And it sounds, oh damn, look at that. It sounds perhaps overly simplistic, but it works. The moment I truly, and I mean truly internalized and came to believe that I cannot control my thoughts at all. Influence them, lifestyle, friendships, environments, habits, media, sure. But control them? No. I can't. I just can't. I got no control over my thoughts. My actions, yes. But think about that. Like the moment I really, really, really came to terms with that, it just set me free. It gave me permission to think whatever the hell I want, however often I want, to the point that I wasn't even trying to not think of them. Like that was always the biggest battle, right? Is you're afraid you'll start obsessing, and so then you start obsessing, or something pops in your head you don't like, weird ass thoughts, and you're like, shit, I shouldn't have thought that. I don't want to think that again. And then what happens? You think about it more. So, of course, sort of counterintuitively, but not really, the less I try to manage my thoughts, the more I laugh at them sometimes. I'm like, that's fucking funny. Like, I can't believe I just thought that. Or I give myself permission is what I'm trying to say, because I don't care what I think because I can't control what I think. Now, I do try to nudge my thought process, in the right direction based on lifestyle, habits, influences, leadership, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I can't control my thoughts, so I just don't care what they are at all. And I don't try to stop them. Once they're there, if I start thinking about it a lot, I just think about it. I don't know. It works. Booty Boo says, thank you for sharing your depression and anxiety issues. I can relate. I'm sorry you can relate, but you're welcome. I'm glad that something I said made you feel any type of way. Michelle W. We have a super chat. Excuse me, guys. Tina Howard again. Tina, you better be loaded. Giving me all your money. So, guys, Tina just dropped a super chat. I will continue to I'll shower all of you with my love and respect. Just being here is amazing, and I'm lucky. But of course, as I keep saying, for anyone who feels called to help support me and or tip me with their hard-earned money, that's a huge thing. I don't take that lightly. Tina, for I think the third time now, says, hi Noah, thank you for answering my questions. Unfortunately, I'm at a point in my sober journey where I may need inpatient treatment. Could you give a brief description of how it will be? Wow, it's so brave of you to share that with us. So yeah, I've checked myself into rehab, and I've done a month in rehab, and you should go if you think you need it. It is an incredibly powerful, positive, and meaningful thing to do. And it will help you get the ball rolling. It'll bolster you. It will empower you. It will give you so much. It'll give you a lot of fuel. It'll give you a lot of fuel, and it'll separate you from the substance, right? Genuine, no bullshit separation from the substance. And that was the most effective thing for me, was that it gave me that break. So could you give a brief description of how it will be? So for me, it was like this. I went to Astoria Point, which is in Astoria, Oregon. I live in Portland. I took myself there. I was supposed to check in on Friday. And then I was like, I don't want to go. I'm going to get drunk one more time. And so I checked into a hotel and got wasted. And then the next day I came in. Turns out everyone does that, is what I heard. And they're like, yeah, you're not special. Everyone does that. But I checked in. I was all down and somber. And immediately someone scooped me up, right? They took me on a little tour. They check your blood pressure a lot and your vitals a lot in the first 48 hours, or maybe it's 72 hours, because they want to make sure you're not having any dangerous withdrawal symptoms. They had a med person on staff. And in the beginning, you kind of just sleep a bit, and they're a little more lenient with you sticking to all the routine of the day. But basically what they're going to do, though, after you get outside of that first week or 3 to 4 days, is they're going to indoctrinate you into a schedule. They're going to schedule your entire world. When you wake up, where you're going to be, the readings you're going to do, the time you're going to eat, the meetings you're going to attend, the classes. It's basically like being an outdoor school camp, but for substance. And it's good. It's good. It's just, no pun intended, but it's very sobering. And you'll meet some people that have stories you can't relate to. You'll meet some people that have stories you can relate to. But shit will get real in there. And you're going to have a chance to look yourself in the mirror with clear eyes and a relatively clear mind. And it's powerful. And it's a little scary, but then it's not. I made some incredible friends when I was in there. That was back when I was 25. That was just before my breakdown. And you should go if you think you need it. You should go if you think you need it. And I'll be rooting for you, okay? Don't be afraid. Oh, sorry. There we go. Where? Sorry, guys. Where were we? My fault, guys. I mean, it's not really like... Oh. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, shoot, you guys. I've never seen this, but it's like... It cut off. No, for real? Damn. I can't go back any further. It's like... Damn. Sorry, if I were you guys, I'd be like, dude, start talking to us or I'm out of here. I try to always go with the comment that was next, right? I have my comment spread. You guys can see it spread. It's just lost. It's like there are people now that I will need to skip because it's gone. Like I can't see any more of the chat. Well, damn. That really bothers me. There may have been someone waiting a long ass time for me to read their... All right, guys, I'll go from the top. But now you know. Damn, now you know what happened. So I'm sorry if I missed your question. I don't know why this... I've never noticed this before. Not cool. Not cool. 12 gauge 223. Do you ever feel anger towards people that you think let you down? If so, how do you deal with it? Oh man, I don't know if you're gonna like this, but I used to. I don't anymore because they're just people, and I'm just a person. And I'm fallible. How do I deal with it though? I pray for them, or like what did I? Yeah, and I'm sorry. Again, I'm not overly religious. I mean prayer, just like in the act of praying. But here's what you do if there's someone you feel let you down. Every night before bed for a week, you're going to write down 3 things that you like about that person, and you're going to write down 3 things that you want to have happen for them. 3 really good things. I want them to be happy. I want this person, write their name down though. I want Jim to be happy. I want Jim to be successful. I want Jim to feel joy in his heart, whatever. I think Jim can be very kind. I appreciate this or whatever. But basically, you just set them free that way. You just, I don't know, it's liberating. It'll work. It's annoying though. It'll work though. Not Sue says, I need help. I need help. I'm trying to make lyrics for a music video, but I can't think of things that I've been through, things to write about. Any suggestions? Oof. Well, damn. I used to do some writing. I used to do some rapping when I was younger. I think lyrics and it's kind of like YouTube's a little bit this way where sometimes I'm feeling it. And other times, like lately, I'm not feeling it. And you got to make sure you strike when you're feeling it. And you can't necessarily force creativity when you're not. So maybe what you should do is just get out of the idea that you need to write a song and maybe just write a timeline of important events in your life. That's it. Just write a timeline. Maybe putting it in some sort of chronological order like that would be helpful. Fumbling Pioneer says, you're a saint, Noah. Thanks, brother. I disagree, but I'm just kidding. But I do have good in me, man. I appreciate you saying that. Private Area says, hey, Big No-No, what up, dude? What's up, Privates? Jordan Rios, kind of pizza, and thank you for your videos. I think we're going to go to Mod Pizza, where she can build her own, I'll build my own, something like that. Mike Kirk says, hi, what's up, Mike? Chris Fallon, what are your calories like on a sedentary day if you're being good? On my rest days, I don't work out twice a week, I would say. 2 times a week. I would say I'm sedentary, I guess. And on those days, I try to go into a massive deficit, caloric deficit, just because I tend to overeat a couple times a week. And I'd say my calories are probably like 1,400 on those days. I'll go OMAD, so 1 meal a day. I'll just have 1 big meal usually. Mike Kirk says, thank you for your videos. My pleasure, man. Truly. It ain't nothing. Noah. Wait, is your name Noah? Dude, that's cool. Noah says, what do I do if I don't have anyone close enough to talk to about my problems? Support groups, online support groups. You can create kinship there. And then, of course, you can go talk to someone who's a professional and still get feedback. But support groups are a nice way to get that without having to pay for it. Like, and a support group can look like and feel like a lot of different things. It can be more formal, or it could be something like joining a CrossFit gym and immersing yourself into a community, which will then create connections and friendships. Definitely not alone, though. Solomon Kayat says, hey man, can you make the video recorded so I could check what you said about depression earlier? I think, guys, every time I do one of these live streams, I'm pretty sure it's just posted on my channel. 12 gauge 223. Any advice for not internalizing other people's opinions, perspectives in your head? Your videos helped me and a lot of others. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, let me think about that for a second. Not internalizing other people's opinions. I kind of like see all people now in a few different facets. I feel like there's the person they present to be, there's the person they are when they're alone, there's the person they think they are, the person they want to be, the person they were when they were kids, There's good, there's bad, there's scared, there's brilliant, there's insecure. I think it all lives in all of us. And when anyone ever gives me an opinion, I just remember that they're just a person, doing their best. And not that their opinions don't matter, but just that that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with me. And I know that kind of sounds weird. Just like, they're giving an opinion on you. I'm like, yeah, through their eyes, for what they think they know, what they think they see. How well, here's the thought. How well do you really even know yourself? Like, truly. And some people are like, what? Of course I know myself. But do you, though? Like, we have so much going on in here, especially as we navigate ego and mental health and life and insecurity and all that. So when I just think about how confusing life can feel for me, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's pretty fucking confusing and overwhelming for everyone. And we're just trying to figure out how we fit in. So if someone drops an opinion on me that I don't necessarily care for, I can let it roll off me so easy because they're just a person and they're just doing their best. And if something they said really struck me because there's truth to it, then you got really lucky. Someone may have just given you an opportunity to reflect. Okay. Lou Guy says stomach better. I think the stomach is getting better. I don't think it's fully better, but I'm just like a naughty little no-no sometimes. Private area HCG is the best for fertility, right? That's what I keep hearing. I feel like my doc wanted me to get on Clomid, and I was like, I don't wanna. I feel like HCG would be better. Is the same pain prior? Pretzel Boggins says, at Noah, did you try a therapist? I have seen a therapist. I work with someone just to stay strong. Private area says, I've been on TRT for a year, 260 milligrams per week, and 500 IU HCG. We just got a positive preg test. Congrats. Dude, that's a pretty hefty dose. But hey, I mean, everyone's different. That's just I hope you're feeling good. Lou Guy says, I know he seems very up and stable before he was really suffering from his stomach. Yeah. See, I guess that's a good way to put it, right? I guess I must be doing a little bit better because I'm acting a little bit better. Good thought. Yalashaska says, before you began TRT, were you as much into lifting as you are now, or you started lifting more afterwards, knowing hormones and lifting go hand in hand? I've always been into exercise. I've always been into training. But when I had really low T, nothing would happen. My body wouldn't respond. I had no energy. So yeah, they definitely go hand in hand in that you can actually, something can come of it beyond the act of doing it. Lou Guy, emotional sobriety. Wow, so interesting. I agree, right? James Gifford, emotional sobriety. The Firmament Files. Did you get off benzos after TRT? Yeah. Molly Bird. Do you get super depressed the next day after drinking? I do. So I wondered if that's a thing. It's definitely a thing. I do not, but it's definitely a thing. I got a buddy who Yeah, every single time he drinks, the day of his hangover, let's say if he drank hard, he questions life and he processes too much and he overthinks things and he's just a wreck and he's wondering why we're all even here. He just like has one of those responses. I don't get that way at all, but I know it's a thing for some people. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes. If I didn't get to your question, please excuse me. Know that I meant to. If you were one of the people that got lost when the feed just, I don't know, shortened or whatever, I'm really sorry about that. That's crappy. But I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and head on out of here. But this has been really fun. I've really, really enjoyed you guys being here with me. I miss this. I miss seeing you guys like this. So let's do 5 more minutes of questions. So 6:35 is when we'll go ahead and call this live stream. P.S. Mui says, me also, I quit and have a lot of energy again. Sweet. Aringa Schwab says, how long do you intermittent fast for? Workout days, I'm eating 6 to 8 hour window typically. Non-workout days, I try to eat like a 3 to 4. And then occasionally do a 24-hour fast or 36-hour fast. James Gifford at Molly, I don't know. Robert Jenkins, FYI, that was $22. Remember what you said earlier, LOL. Right. Kidden Bins, hey, Caden? Probably Caden. My testosterone came in at 212. That's pretty low, boss. Is that worth treating? Only you really know that, but I feel like I would. If I couldn't identify how to make that better naturally. Solomon Kayat says, hey man, could you post? Yeah, I already got that. Matrix Exposing Truth. Can weed smoke hurt my rib bones? I don't think so. I don't think so, but let's just say if there was any soreness, what I do, I haven't smoked weed in like 50,000 years, but when I did, one of the things I remember was that like if I was sore, let's say I had a sore back, sore knee, so on and so forth, I would hyper-focus on that soreness. Like it made it very obvious to me, like this is where I'm sore, like room. So maybe it's that. PS says, seriously, go 40 days and see if you feel a change. I no doubt would. Preston Bryant, Douglas Block, is that the right spelling? It is. Joseph Ross says, what are your top 3 values? Woo! Coming in with the high questions. Family, respect, and kindness? That's a great question. Robert Jenkins. James Gifford says, Noah, hey, I'm Jamie Gifford. Just wondering how your stomach's doing. It's slowly getting better, Jamie. Slowly. Thank you for asking. Janice says, Mindhunter on Netflix is good. Yes, I really, really like that show. I really like that show. Anasa Nain says, have you watched Game of Thrones? Yeah, I like that show too. Mindhunter, good season, masterpiece. Season 1 is a masterpiece. Annie Lenhart says, remember me? I said you were my hero many months ago. You're looking great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. P.S. Mace is Hagrid. Oh, okay, you guys talking to each other. Preston Bryan, your thoughts aren't blaring out loud, so letting them run free seems like a good solution. Yeah. It's just math. Love you, man. When I first got a major depressive episode, you made me feel I wasn't alone. Definitely not, and I love you too. Jordan Weekly, couldn't pay for it when I got sober. Yeah, it's definitely expensive. Luna Zappelli says, my puddin' and I are a few weeks shy of a year together. My puddin' and I. You know it's real when the person you are with will do absolutely anything for you. We are literally like Harley and the Joker, only not abusive. That's cool. That's really cool. El Bandito says, the only dude in YouTube that you don't want to scam, that don't want to scam you, try to sell you some crap. Love and respect. Thanks, man. I just took on a sponsorship thing with a company, but I'm not trying to sell you per se, but gotta eat. Your boys gotta eat. John Be Gone, sorry, left for a bit. When was the first time you realized you didn't have depersonalization? What was it like? I'm going to end on that question. That'll be the last question for today's live stream. Yeah, the first time I didn't realize I didn't have it was like probably back in 2013, 2014, where it washed over me so slowly that it's like I thought it was always there, and then one day it just wasn't. It just was gone. But it wasn't like a light switch. It was just like, oh, I'm not noticing it, and then it just was gone. All right, guys, that's my time. Someone did a $2 super chat, which I really appreciate. I just noticed, but there's no question for it or name. So I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, thank you for whoever did that. I'm sorry I didn't see a question or anything attached to it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I hope you have a good week. We'll see if I post anything this week on the channel, but I think so. I think I'll be ready to make a video. And just know that I appreciate you very much. It was very nice you guys to come kick it with me. If you're struggling, stay brave. If you're doing well, good for you, and maybe just go support someone who might need you. And just know that I need you, and I appreciate you guys. And we'll hopefully do one of these again really, really, really soon. All right. Adios.